and pocketed the rest of the money. And that night, by a flickering candle, we all swore allegiance to Karl Marx. No matter what next dance, unless we got paid more, we'd play that bloody awful Warsaw Concerto. Now, men in uniform can't really be considered religious, unless it be a Christian profundity that makes a gunner say, Jesus Christ, when he drops a shell on his foot. The Catholics had occasional visits from Father Holything, who seemed horrified at the thought of any soldier having sexual intercourse. Oh, be careful of strong drink, my son. Bear in mind, it excites the sexual appetites. Therefore, if you see a comrade a drunk, bring him home and bathe the parts in cold water. Oh, it was great to know how to be a Christian. All you needed was an erection and a bucket of cold water. He warned, avoid loose women. I never told him the women I knew were so loose they were falling to bits. Mind you, we were all sleeping with highly respectable officers' wives whose brave husbands were away with the wars. In our rough soldier way, we would try to comfort them. One man was comforting so many, he was excused close. And, by the way, they increased his rations. Oh, those military meals. Breakfast could be recognised by shape. Sausage, yes, but lunch? That white, watery mound. Could it be spuds? But what was that heap of steaming green and black grot, with a knoll of boiled grey on top that shuddered if you saw it? Visits from the orderly officer did very little to help.
Any complaints?
Yes, sir, it's this.
What's wrong with this?
There's nothing wrong with it, but what is this?
Cook! This man wants to know what this is.
That, sir, is the proper mystique a la the older shots.
Oh, Christ. The cookhouse staff consisted of 2 ex-dustmen and the chef, a Sergeant Paddy Harris, with multiple BO, black fingernails and halitosis. Every evening, Harris could be seen leaving the billet, his service dress stuffed with tins of fruit, cream, and other wartime goodies that he laid at the feet of his mistress prior to coitus. When he first met her, she was a little 6-stone weakling. When he left Bexhill 2 years later, she weighed 14 stone, owned a chain of grocery stores, and he was a 6-stone weakling. Harris spent his leave in Dublin. He was still a citizen of the Irish Republic. One day he returned from leave with a pig stuffed up his back. We thought he'd gone Quasimodo, but no. It was a pig. He intended to fatten the animal and serve it to the battery for Christmas dinner in exchange for some seasonable gift, like 15 shillings a portion. It was housed in an old Libby's milk box lined with crap. The keeping of pigs in barracks was forbidden, so Harris gave the creature 2 coats of white paint with brown patches that near as damn it made it look like a cocker spaniel. The pig grew bigger and had to be repainted as a Great Dane. At night it went foraging. Lieutenant Budden awoke one night. He phoned the guardhouse.
Am I awake, Bombardier?
He inquired. Sentry duty NCO.
In which case,
Said Budden.
a pig painted brown has just eaten my battle dress and is starting on my regimental.
We tried to tether the animal, but it broke the chain and dashed squealing over the football pitch. Didn't score a goal. Seeing Christmas dinner disappearing, we gave chase. Heading up the road to St. Leonard's, it suddenly turned right. "Ah! Marco, now!" said Bombardier Donaldson, as the pig rushed up the steps and through the front door of, wait for it, the Belgravia guest house for refined gentlefolk. Ta-da! Entering the hall, we saw chaos. He was a bald man lying face downwards on his back with a grandfather clock across him. A fat, bursting woman was clutching a gross of Pekingese.
My darling!
She thrilled through a rouged hole. On the landing, a fine old man with a rolled-up newspaper was flailing away at nothing and shouting, "Kill! Kill!" A toothless crow issued forth, stirring a saucepan of thrice-watered porridge. Behind her, a blind man holding up sagging trousers had peered at the WC door.
There's no paper, Mrs. Father,
he said.
In the cellar!
Screamed a rude, refined voice. Down we raced. Up we came with the blind man bound hand and fist, still looking for the paper.
It's the downed one!
Said the dreaded Harris. Down we raced again. He on the top step kept shouting,
Mind my bottle! It's in there!
At last we got the animal up. We were covered in cuts, bruises and bottle quinces. The pig was unmarked. With a noose around his neck, he was as quiet as a lamb.
Who?
Said the vast landlady.
Who is going to pay for all this damage, eh?
Madam, every last penny will be repaid.
Said the steaming Harris. He took her vile hand and kissed it. Passing on his hereditary gingivitis. Somewhere on the steppes of Russia, squadrons of red tanks were attacking the Germans on all fronts. But England too was in there. Somewhere. About now, of course, the heroes of the war, were the RAF pilots. It made you green with envy and red with rage, unless you were colourblind when you went white with envy and black with rage. Of course, all the beautiful birds went out with the Biggleses, didn't they? I couldn't stand any more, folks. Oh, no. I volunteered for the RAF Air Force. In February 1941, I was called for an interview to Kingsway House before a man who appeared to be wearing a pair of hairy outstretched wings under his zooter.
I see you want to join the RAF.
Yes, sir. I would like to be a RAF. I have the character and the temperament that is admirably suited to that arm.
Oh, what would you like to be?
A pilot, sir.
I want to go out with pretty girls, eh?
After a stringent physical examination, a doctor told me...
Sorry, Milligan, your eyesight isn't up to what we need for a pilot. However, we have a number of vacancies here for rear gunners with very bad eyesight.
No, sir, I don't want to be at the back seat. I want to drive.
Sorry, lad. All we can offer you is almost certain death.
But no, sir. I stood up, saluted smartly, farted and exited. As I walked down the corridor, I saw what was possibly the ugliest waif I've ever seen.
Hello, cheeky.
She had a face like Tommy Cooper's pulled inside out. Perhaps I had got bad eyesight. One morning, a chill of hurrah, horror and harrah ran through the serried ranks. There, in Part 2 orders, were the words, 0600 hours, the battery will be assembled for a 5-mile run. Oh. Strong gunners fell fainting to the floor. Some lay weeping on their beds. 5 miles! Oh. There was no such distance. 5 miles? Oh. That wasn't a run. That was deportation. On that fateful dawn, the duty bombardier bade us arise.
Wakey, head of cocks, on socks.
Too late. Now, I, like many others, had no intention of running 5 miles. Oh, no. We would hang behind, wait for the return, and rejoin them. But Bernard Law Montgomery had thought of that. We were all put on trucks and driven 5 miles. Oh! Out into the perishing countryside. Oh, so cold you could strike matches on them. Off we went, leather suitcase in the front. In 10 seconds he was trailing at the back and collapsed into a ditch. We left him expiring by the roadside. One by one we arrived back at the billets. Behind was a 5-mile train of broken men. It was the end of the line for leather suitcase. Our new CO was Major Taterjack McDussow. McDussow? McDussow. Yes, that's it, yes. McDussow. In the months that followed, he ran us across 2/3 of England. Then we ran out of it. Herds of men reported sick with sore feet. Busty Roberts told us the cure. You piss in your boots, lads, and you let them stand in the overnight. My God, he was right. He was right, but there were accidents. Forgetful sleepers got up and plunged their feet into boots full of ice-cold urine. But, of course, the Russians were